Well, welcome. I would like to open with giving you, the audience, awareness that I am still spiteful of the NASCAR overlord screwing over Alex Bowman in the 2024 season. Hendrick should have appealed the penalty, but hey, what do I know? Well, now that that's out of the way, it is imperative that you know that this data is pulled from charts showing Cup Series results in the last 3 seasons. And if I offend you somehow today, take it up with my 93 subscribers. And remember, this is my opinion. I consume a lot of NASCAR content, but in no way am I a professional. So take my preseason playoff predictions with a grain of salt, or maybe even a whole salt shaker. He will make it. Unless he breaks his leg on a skiing trip, he will be in the NASCAR postseason. In the last 3 years, Kyle Larson has finished top 5 roughly 40% of the time, which is an insane stat. His worst track is at Atlanta, which he has a 29.6 average finish in his last 6 starts. Anywhere other than a super speedway, which is largely luck-based, Kyle will be at the front. Unless he makes a stupid mistake or makes Bubba Wallace mad. Alright, NASCAR's former heartthrob should also make it easily to the playoffs. He's already a NASCAR champion and finished second in line to his teammate Joey Logano last year. He's placed in the top 5 32 times in the past 3 years and has won 6 of those. And all around he's good at most tracks, and the ones he's not as good at, he's been improving. So, he's one to look out for. The most shocking fact I found about Christopher Bell's stats is that he is 30 years old now. Which means he's officially entering his prime NASCAR years. He's great at short track racing, and he has 8 wins in the last 3 years and 36 top 5s. Also, he's been in 2 championship 4s and just missed it in 5th place last year. Statistically, William Byron is the best intermediate track racer in the business at the moment. He started and finished strong last year, just don't look at the summer averages, so if he wins early, tremendous load off him. Either way, he's good at all the other tracks, so therefore is a lock still. Alright, these guys I'm 75 to 85% sure that they're going to make the playoffs. So, this is going to be controversial. There is going to be only one way for Kyle Busch to make it to the playoffs this season, and that is for him to put 2024 in the past. He's one of the most experienced guys out there on the track, and he has 4 wins in the last 5 years. Of course, not last season, but I believe he's going to break through this year. Alright, as I was filming this video, Chase Elliott broke through and won the Clash in 2025. So I'd say he's starting off the season well. And last year he got a win at Texas. And he's the second best short track racer. Also, he's one of the most consistent drivers of last year. He also has like 30 top 5s in the last 3 years. And even with his injury in 2023. So he should make it. Yes, Denny Hamlin has been distracted lately. But yes, there has been charter troubles with the 2311 team. So putting that aside, he is the best short track racer still. And he has a 3.7 average finish at like Kansas in the last 6 starts. So he'll always find a way to win in my book. And hopefully, his guys at 2311 will pull their own weight so he can have success at Joe Gibbs Racing this year. He's annoyingly lucky. And he's even made Erica's step part of the superstition. Thankfully, it's not an even year. Let's be real. Tyler Reddick's season last year was decently phenomenal. He was a 2024 points winner, and he won 8 races in the last 3 years. He continues to improve, even for a very, very young team. Hopefully Riley Herbst and Bubba Wallace will also help get each other into victory lane this year. And hopefully he can achieve a little bit more consistency. And maybe another shot at the championship. But that's unlikely because he's not Penske or Hendrick. But who knows? Alright, I spent $30 to rep his merch this year, so I'm hoping for a good season. Last year he was very consistent, and when the time came, he jumped on the opportunity at the streets of Chicago. And he's had several top 10s over the last few years. But in reality, he just needs a really solid season to keep his spot at Hendrick. That's about all. What a fascinating concept. AJ Allmendinger, Chris Buescher, and SVG all racing together at Sonoma. It sounds like it's going to be a fascinating road course arena this season. Last year, Chris Buescher missed the playoffs by about centimeters to Larson at Kansas, I believe. And as long as he doesn't die at a super speedway, he's good enough at all the other tracks to lead his RFK teammates into the offseason. Alright, Austin Cindric is often way overlooked because of the success of Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney, but I would not overlook him this year, especially after making the number 2 team go to victory lane last year at a more traditional style NASCAR track. Also, he made it to the round of 12 last year. He finished 11th place over the season, and I kind of expect him to be there again this year. Alright, Ross Chastain, the melon farmer, is going to make the playoffs this year. I can feel it. He's got the alcohol sponsorships and the incredible driving abilities to be Schlatt approved and do well on the track. And, in addition, he also loves to win races during the playoffs out of spite, especially whenever he's not in them. So, I think he's going to do much better than last year. Maybe unpopular, but I don't care. This is a very important year for Ty Gibbs. It is his junior year officially, and he still hasn't won. The best thing he's got going for him is his last name. But he's very good at intermediate tracks, so hopefully he'll be like Chase Elliott and win for the first time. Junior year. Crossing fingers. Alright, the Dinger is back and ready for mid-pack. Except for rutted courses, of course. But with Buescher and an experienced Aussie, which Reddit told me is not a slur, I'm very interested on how it's going to go this year, especially considering that last year I looked at his statistics in Xfinity. He started doing really well at like more traditional tracks. But time will tell, because the Cup Series is way different than the Xfinity. He only has one top 5. Now, it's really confusing to me that he only has one, because I feel like I saw him up front all the time. And you must take that with, he is driving a Spire car. This isn't Hendrick. He doesn't have the top equipment. And he can still get top 10s on a pretty much weekly basis. And as we saw in the Clash last week, he was steadily climbing up to the front until he met with Christopher Bell, who sent him to the back. But I guess that's just how the Clashes work. And I am so interested to see how he does in 25. And very hopeful. Alright, honorable mentions time. I could have made valid arguments for all these. Todd Gilliland ran really well last year. Chase Briscoe's a lot of cool equipment. Bubba Wallace has been doing well. Michael McDowell has a whole bunch of poles, but I'm not 100% sure about any of this. This was just my educated guess. But I want a lot of people to do well, so we'll see. Alright. Thanks for watching, I guess. I don't know if this was kind of cringy or anything. And it's probably not going to be popular. Especially not a popular opinion. But I don't really care. I did this for my own enjoyment. Just because I was bored and curious. So we'll see how they hold out for the rest of 2025. Now, enjoy an awesome flyover.